Now, from Gaza, we want to talk about a recent Israeli strike on the only Catholic church there. 3 people died, several others were injured when Israel hit the Holy Family Church on Thursday. Its roof, facade, and windows were also damaged. The Holy Family Church has sheltered hundreds of Palestinians since the start of Israel's military campaign. The attack prompted an impassioned response from Pope Leo XIV. Now the Pope is fielding calls from heads of state. The big question, could a peacemaking Pope turn the tide? Let's go ahead and bring in ABC News contributor, Father James Martin. Our friend, it is so good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So you know this, in his Sunday Angelus, the Pope named the victims of the attack and again called for an immediate end to, quote, the barbarity of war. And just today he spoke with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The Vatican says that Pope Leo repeated his appeal for the protection of civilians in sacred places. Many people don't realize that popes have a long history of getting involved in very serious negotiations. Could he make an impact here?
Well, he could, and I think he already has in a sense. Popes, as you were pointing out, since at least John the 23rd, have called for peace and have worked politically. The Vatican prefers to work behind the scenes. But what popes do and what they should be doing is always calling for peace. One of the great lines is from St. John Paul II, war is always a defeat for humanity. And so that really is the consistent theme of popes in the modern age and of Pope Leo as well.
And Father Martin, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also reached out to the Pope after the attack. His office said in a statement that Israel deeply regrets that a stray ammunition hit Gaza's Holy Family Church. He thanked the Pope for his words of comfort. Could he really turn the tide here toward a ceasefire? I know that's a big question.
It is a big question, and I think one of the things that the Vatican can do is provide a venue for these talks. I'm not saying I have any inside knowledge of that, but and we have people on the ground there. You see Cardinal Pizzaballa, who's the Patriarch of Jerusalem, who is really very well respected by all sides. So the Vatican can provide, I think, an atmosphere for that peace to occur.
And the fact that Cardinal Pizzaballa was there, I mean, what's the importance of having the Cardinal there?
Well, it's a sign of the care that the church has for people in Gaza. He visited. Here's a scene of him visiting Holy Family Parish in Gaza. It's the last Catholic parish there. It's also the parish many people will know because Pope Francis used to call them every night at 7 p.m. to check on them. And so, I think it's what we call in the Catholic Church a ministry of presence, a ministry of accompaniment. The cardinal is showing people that he's with them, and therefore the church is with them.
Father Martin, many people, they come to you for spiritual guidance. What would you say to someone who comes to you and says they're struggling with this, that their heart aches for all of the suffering in Gaza, especially among children and families, but at the same time, they also think it's important for Israel to defend itself against Hamas? What advice would you give them?
I try not to get too political, but, I would say that, that compassion that you're feeling is God's compassion. The idea that this is wrong, that this is causing needless suffering, is really something that is against God's plan. And so any way that we can work for peace or support people who work for peace is the way forward.
Father James Martin, we so appreciate your loving words as always. Thank you.
My pleasure.